In recent years, the bulldozer has become an unmistakable symbol of power being misused in India. Time and again, bulldozers have been deployed for unlawful demolitions, often targeting marginalized communities. Muslims, Dalits, the poor, communities that are already vulnerable, are seeing their homes and neighbourhoods erased. States like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Maharashtra and Assam have witnessed neighbourhoods being wiped out, often without warning. No notice, no trial, no chance to be heard. These demolitions bypass the rule of law, and what's worse, many are driven by prejudice and selective targeting. Today we'll dive deeper into how these demolitions have unfolded, the lives and communities affected, and how the courts have responded. It all began in Uttar Pradesh under Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, where bulldozers became a tool of punishment in 2017. Dubbed bulldozer justice, this practice gained notoriety as the government demolished the homes of those accused of participating in protests or communal violence, often without a legal conviction. One of the most notable instances occurred in 2022, when the home of activist Afreen Fatima was razed to the ground after protests erupted against derogatory remarks about Prophet Muhammad. These demolitions were carried out despite clear court orders requiring proper notice. Homes in Muslim-majority areas like Prayagraj and Kanpur were flattened in mere hours, sending shockwaves across the country. The message was clear: dissent will not be tolerated. In Madhya Pradesh, the story is hauntingly familiar. Following the communal clashes in Khargone in April 2022, authorities swiftly launched a series of retaliatory demolitions, this time targeting homes in Muslim-majority areas. Under the pretext of clearing illegal encroachments, homes that had stood for decades were demolished within 48 hours of the clashes. Residents reported that no prior notice was given. Many had lived in these homes for generations. It quickly became clear these demolitions weren't just about clearing land. They were a form of punishment aimed at an entire community for its perceived involvement in violence, even though most residents faced no formal charges. In Gujarat, the bulldozer has once again been wielded as an instrument of collective punishment. Following communal clashes during religious processions in 2022, bulldozers were quickly deployed to demolish properties, primarily targeting Muslim neighbourhoods in Ahmedabad and Vadodara. Under the guise of removing illegal encroachments, the demolitions took place immediately after the riots, raising troubling questions about selective targeting and discrimination. The timing of these demolitions left little doubt. This wasn't just about enforcing the law, it was about sending a message. Despite multiple petitions in the Gujarat High Court, the demolitions continued, leaving many questioning the justice behind these actions. In Uttarakhand, the planned demolition of over 4,000 homes in Haldwani threatened to displace tens of thousands of people in 2023, most of them from Muslim communities. Authorities claimed these homes were built on railway land, but many residents have lived there for generations, holding documents that proved their ownership. After widespread protests and a legal challenge, the Supreme Court of India stepped in, halting the demolition and calling for a more thorough investigation into the residents' claims. This was one of the rare instances where public outcry and legal pressure were enough to stop the bulldozers. In Assam, demolitions and mass evictions have been carried out under the pretext of removing illegal settlers, particularly in the Darang district. Here, large number of Bengali-speaking Muslims have been displaced. These communities have lived in the region for decades, yet they've been falsely labelled as illegal immigrants targeted by eviction drives. One of the most disturbing incidents occurred in September 2021, when a state-run eviction drive turned violent. Footage of a photographer stomping on the body of a dead protester while homes were being bulldozed in the background shocked the nation. Despite a contempt petition filed in the Supreme Court, the Assam government continues its eviction drives, leaving those displaced with no clear rehabilitation plan. In Maharashtra, slum demolitions have been a long-standing issue. Nowhere is this more evident than in Mumbai, where entire communities are regularly uprooted under the banner of urban development. In April 2023, large-scale demolitions in Dharavi, one of Mumbai's largest slums, left thousands homeless. Despite promises of a rehabilitation scheme, many residents remain in temporary shelters with no clear timeline for relocation. As these demolitions continue, questions arise about the role of the regime. Are these state-sanctioned acts of prejudice? The pattern of destruction, the selective targeting of vulnerable communities, and the flouting of judicial orders point to a dangerous blend of impunity and hate. Governments need to answer. Why is the rule of law so easily sidestepped? The Supreme Court of India has intervened multiple times, halting these unlawful demolitions, but the fight for justice is far from over. In September 2024, the court issued an interim stay on all demolitions, making it clear bulldozers cannot be used to punish individuals without following due process. In states like Assam, residents have filed contempt petitions against the government for violating these orders, yet many demolitions continue unabated. The Gujarat High Court too has rebuked authorities for failing to provide proper notice before demolishing properties, but even these legal protections are often ignored. Despite the court's interventions, demolitions continue, frequently with no regard for rehabilitation or compensation. If demolitions become a tool of state repression, where is the accountability? Activists, lawyers, and organizations are working tirelessly to fight for the rights of marginalized communities, providing legal aid, exposing these injustices, and standing up against the misuse of power. The misuse of bulldozers as a tool of punishment is not just a violation of the law, it is an attack on basic human rights. By staying informed, raising our voices, and holding those in power accountable, we can ensure that justice is served for those who are most vulnerable. For a deeper understanding of complex human rights issues across India and to learn how you can support the fight for justice, visit cjp.org.in.